I tell you what, I love this yard. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really great to have you here. Now I'm going to give you one guess as to where I'm detecting in this episode. Yeah, I am back at that amazing mansion permission. We have found so many amazing things at this place so far, and they're still coming out of the ground. So needless to say, I have a whole lot more to share with you in upcoming episodes as well. Well, I was out by myself this time, and I was using my Equinox 800 that I got from our friends at Kellyco. Now I started off using the 11-inch stock coil, and I was running it in field 2 with 2 tones. Now I had to say the ground was soft and the signals were everywhere, and it just doesn't get any better than that. And I really hope you enjoy this one. Got a nice early weedy, down about 5 inches right next to this big root. And I already checked it out. That's going to be a 1920 Philadelphia. So very cool. Always like seeing those come out of the ground. Well, got another weedy. I'll tell you what, this was about 6 inches down, and I took a look, and this one's another 30, so it's going to be a 1937. So a lot of weedies over here. Well, this one was giving me an 11, sometimes a 12. Dug down about 6 inches, and I think I have a very sweet suspender buckle. I can see a shell pattern right here. So I'm going to get this sprayed and brushed off, and I'll be right back. Very cool. Well, there it is. Very cool shell design on it. And there's the back side. So very cool suspender buckle. I will definitely take that one. Well, I was told they had very extensive flower and vegetable gardens all over the property here, and I guess I found one of their tools, the remains of an old shovel, a little spade. So pretty cool. It was giving me a 12-13, and it was about 8 inches down. Got a real nice tone here. It's about 27-28, and check it out. I just pulled it out. Oh yeah, it's a mercury dime. Oh yeah, that is really cool. Let me spray it a little bit more. And believe it or not, I have another signal off to the side here, hoping for another one. Although the weedies have been kind of high toning today, but we'll find out. I was trying to see if I can get looks like another 40s. It's probably going to be it looks like 44 again. So very happy with that, and give you a better look at it here. There you go. Well, I'm going to check out that signal, and I'll be right back. Well, it was a coin right next to it, but it was a clad quarter, and believe it or not, the clad quarter was deeper than the silver dime was. Well, this thing was giving me a 12-13, and I finally got it out of the hole about 6 inches deep, and that's it right there. Now I cleaned it up a little bit. It's a cap, and this cap says Ipana on it, and that was a very popular brand of toothpaste back in the day. So pretty cool little find, and we'll keep on going. Well, I got something very nice in the hole. It's giving me a 16-17. 8 inches down, very deep, and I popped it loose. I know what it is right away. I've dug up enough of these, and actually it looks like the one that Chris dug up our first day. Yep, it's an old dog tag, and 1920, same date as Chris's. So very cool. Well, this is kind of cool. It gave me a 15. It was just under the surface, but pretty cool iron relic here. Not sure exactly. That kind of must have staked into the ground, but pretty cool piece. I'm not really sure what it was used for, but just thought I'd show it to you. Definitely has a lot of age to it. Well, I was getting a nice 24-25 signal. Dug down, turned out to be an early weedy, and I took a look at this one. This one's going to be a 1915. Tell you, just tons and tons of early Wheaties out here. Well, this signal was giving me a 12, and I just popped it out of the plug here. Got a nice little garter clip. Check that out. This part is often broken on these. This little arm that comes over, and a lot of times these will have a patent date or name of manufacturer on them, so you always want to look for that. That'll help you date it, but this is probably going to be 1900 to 1915, somewhere in there. But great find. Well, this hole was giving me a very soft 12 signal. I dug down 7 inches. I'm going to show you what I got. It's a lead bale seal, and it's stamped Quake, but it appears to be Quaker. And on the other side, it's stamped the same way, but pretty unusual. I'm not sure exactly what that was. Well, this hole was giving me a 13, and I had to widen the hole. It was off a little bit, but I got a pocket knife, it looks like. Yep, sure do. Check that out. Not too bad a shape, but I always enjoyed digging those old pocket knives. It's a nice little find. Well, this one was giving me a 17-18, and I know what this is right away. This is an early valve stem, and this is going to be a Schrader. This is actually the universal design, and it's going to be early 1900s. So very cool. It's actually super clean. So just love digging these things. I don't know. I just always picture those great looking brass era cars. Well, one of the things I love about America is our can-do spirit and American ingenuity. And when I dug up that valve stem seal, I was reminded of something that I came across in my research a while back. Vertical parking lots. The very first vertical parking lot was invented in Paris, France in 1905, and it later caught on in the United States during the 1920s with the Ferris wheel system. It was the perfect answer to parking in our crowded cities. Well, these parking lots eventually culminated in the construction of a humongous building in New York City that was called the Auto Scraper. Now, the Auto Scraper was touted as the hotel for autos, and incredibly could hold up to 1,000 cars. Well, unfortunately, frequent mechanical problems, long waits for patrons to receive their cars, and the advent of the underground parking garage eventually led to the vertical parking lot's demise. However, this parking system is still in use in many countries around the world, like Japan, which has an incredible 1.6 million automated parking spaces. I was getting a huge 13th signal, and I dug down about 8 inches. I finally got it out. Check it out. Pretty cool iron lid. That's where the hinge was. I'm thinking maybe this was to a stove. Not quite sure. But really cool piece, and thought I'd show you that one. Well, I checked the hole after I dug that one. It went off again, and check it out. There was another one underneath it. And this one, I can see a little bit better, a little protected. That one was sitting right on top of this one. Kind of looks like a log cabin in the center. And I don't know, it must be 2 sets, because I can kind of see it on this one, but it's clearer here. That is awesome. I'm going to have to figure out what the heck those went to. But it does look like a log cabin right here. very old cast iron pieces. So, very cool. Had to show you that. Well, I might have something pretty interesting here. It's giving me a 1718, 8 inches down. Finally got it out. Check it out. Some kind of pendant or... it's an old rabies tag. Boy, lots of those. Oh, this is one I've never... Wow, 1937. Check that out. I have never seen that before. And... it just says vaccinated against rabies, 1937. That is awesome. I've never seen that one before. Very cool. Glad to have that. Well, this next one was giving me an 18, about 7 inches down. It's pretty cool. That's a very old shutoff valve, probably to gas. But that's a cool little piece. I like that. So I just thought I would show that one to you. This one's giving me a 13, and I'm just going along these hedges here. And this one was actually in the plug, and I got a 2-piece button. Now it's pretty cool. As you can see, it's got a anchor on it. Probably civilian, but really old. I'm gonna be curious to see what it looks like once I get it cleaned up, but it's definitely got some pretty good age on it. So early 1900s, I would say, maybe even older. But I'll get it home, get it cleaned up, and give you a better look at this one. I'll tell you what, this place really is amazing. I mean, every signal I dig pretty much is something interesting, something old. I got a 20 here, popped it out of the sidewall, and check it out. It's a harmonic to reed plate. But you know what's kind of different about this one is the shape of it. Look how it flares out at the end. I'm going to try to straighten this. But look at that. That's really cool. Usually they're just straight across, but this one's kind of flared. That's really neat. So, another interesting old find. I may have something very cool. Give me a bit of a high tone, 26, 27. Really had to go down for it. About 7, 8 inches down, but I popped this out. I don't know what it is, but I tell you what, it reminds me of Cloisonne, and I have a feeling this is going to be really pretty. So I need to spray it down and brush it off lightly, and I'll be right back, but I think this is a really cool piece. Wow, will you check this thing out? That is gorgeous. It is kind of a Cloisonne, definitely late 1800s. There's the other side. I think this was a handle, maybe a piece from a dresser set, a mirror or hairbrush. But it's got some red in here, dark blue, aqua, just beautiful. I'm not going to do any more out here in the field. I'm going to get it home and I'll work on it there, but what an awesome piece. And that thing was a good 8 inches down. Well, one thing I wanted to do before I headed out that day was put the 15-inch coil on the machine and go back to that incredible front yard and see if there was anything that I might have missed with the stock 11-inch coil the last time. And I have to say, well, that big coil came through for me yet again. Well, I decided I was going to put the 15-inch coil on. I'm running Park 2, and I just was going back over the yard that I got all the English pennies and Indian heads and everything. I tell you what, I got a 13, and it was just a tiny little signal because it's a tiny little find, but I think it might just be awesome. I'm gonna say it was 7, 8 inches down. Check it out. Now I did look at it and I rubbed it a little bit because I wasn't sure what it was, but I have a little baby's ring, and there is a chance it's gold. It is really cleaning up pretty nicely. So I'm going to clean it up and I'll be right back. Look at that tiny thing. That's got to be the smallest ring I've ever found. Well, I have cleaned it up. It is not gold. It was gold plated. Had 3 tiny little stones. You can hear the train in the background there. But it is pretty awesome. Man, that is amazing. That 15-inch picked that little thing up. So, awesome find and awesome performance with that big coil. Amazing. Well, I got another one. I tell you, I love using that coil after I've hunted with the 11-inch. May have an old nickel. It's way down in this hole. It's getting a solid 12, 13. And I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. Oh, it's a V-nickel. Sweet. Yeah, it's going to be 1800s as well. Oh, that's nice. Man, that thing was down there about 8 inches. Let's see if I can get a date off of her. Nope. This one's going to be 1901. That's cool. Oh, that is awesome. Whew, I was wondering where the nickels were. I guess this one was just hiding out really deep. So I will definitely take that. I'll get her cleaned up, give you a better look at it, but oh, I'm so happy to get that. Well, big cool strikes again. Going over this area I did with the 11-inch, it was faint. But I mean, it wasn't super faint, sort of a medium signal. I went down 10 inches and I can see a green penny down there. And it was giving me a 20, so it could be a weedy, it could be an Indian. No idea. Boy, it's worn. Wow, it's really worn. I want to say it's an Indian. I'm trying to see more. Yep, it's an Indian. My gosh, can you see how worn that thing is? Wow. I hope I get a date off it. I can see it's 18. Look at the back side of this thing. Whew. It was in circulation for a while. Well, let me see if I can get a date and I'll be right back. But, whew, awesome pickup, and see how thin it was too? That coil definitely comes in handy. Well, there she is. She's worn, but I can see the date very clearly. It's 1885. That is awesome. Yep, it's beautiful green. I think I got something cool in this hole too. Believe it or not, this thing was giving me an 11, 10 to 12, bouncing back and forth. Said it was in the plug. It was kind of on edge, but look what I got. I started to clear it out. It looks like I have a complete wristwatch. Oh man, how cool is this? Some kind of red, white, and blue flag wristwatch. Wow, check that out. That's pretty cool. It says something inside it. It's got a bunch of condensation in there. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty neat little find. Wow. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this cleaned up a little bit and see if I can read what it says inside it, but I don't think it's super old, but has a little bit of age to it. Pretty neat little find. Well, I tell you, this is it's kind of an amazing little find here. I can definitely tell you how old the watch is because it has a date on the face of it. And it says WM up here, and it says "We will remember September 11th, 2001." And I know we know where we were on that day. I tell you. So it's very fitting because today is September 4th, 1 week before the anniversary. It's pretty interesting. Pretty good timing here, digging this up. Well, I tell you, what a way to end that hunt. Finding that watch exactly 1 week before the 19th anniversary of 9/11, that was just incredibly special. And sometimes it's just weird how things happen in this great hobby of ours. Now, don't go anywhere just yet. I have some really great historical photos coming up in just a few seconds. And this week's photos honor that amazing American can-do spirit. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.